everybody! Welcome back to Design with me, Ashley D. I have a great video in store for you today. Today we are going to be doing what I call styling spice racks. So of course, as you all know, my spices were in a cabinet. I'm gonna put a picture of that cabinet up here. Just really drab, not being able to find my spices and things, and I came up with a better solution because we're all about better solutions on this channel. Of course, on a budget to improve your life. Let's get into how we get this right. So let's start off with the spice racks first. All right, so these spice racks are from IKEA, and they also come with this support beam or just crossbar that helps keep your contents up on your shelf, which is very important, especially if they are on a door like this. So this is what they'll come in, it's just packed right here. And I will have the exact price for this and a link to it if it's still available down in the description bar below. So once you get everything built, your shelf will look like this. Now, these shelves, I believe, only come in this new color. You will have to paint it, of course, the color that you want to match your decor, or just the color of your choosing. So this is how it comes usually. But for my situation, we had to bring the crossbar down and cut the ends off so that way it wouldn't block the name of the seasonings. Because had I kept the crossbar where it is, you can't see my labels, right? So we had to bring it down just to create a little lip to keep all of the contents on top of the shelf there. So we did still keep that support beam, but we just dropped it down to the bottom part of the shelf. And then once you get into this stage, of course, like I said, you will paint it the color that you need. And in this instance, I painted the shelves white. Another thing that I purchased from IKEA are these spice jars. Again, I got a great deal on these spice jars. They came 4 in a pack, and I believe they were $2.99 for 4 in a pack. I purchased 12 of these because I have a lot of spices, as you saw. Okay, so I did want to show you that this is what the spice jars come in. They come in 4 in a pack again. They have the lids and the jars. The jars are glass, so I would recommend you handle these with care, especially if you have wood floors. All right, so what I did with the spice jar is, of course, make sure that you are cleaning your jars out really well. We don't want the jar straight out the pot, straight out the package, and then you refill, and then you fill these up with your seasoning. You definitely want to give these a good wash before you start filling these up with seasoning. All right, so you fill these up with seasoning. My recommendation is to use a funnel or to get a makeshift funnel that's popping up right here on the screen. That's how I filled these up, was my makeshift funnel, because at the time I needed a funnel, I just could not find a funnel, right? I filled these up with my makeshift funnel, and then I printed these labels off on my computer via using Canva to get this nice, beautiful print. So I'm so excited and so happy that I was able to do these for little or nothing. And this is not on any expensive cardstock, y'all. This is regular printer paper, laminated. So I'm able to take this off. I'm able to take this label off. There we go. Get my camera to focus there. So I'm able to take this label off when I'm washing the bottle, wash the bottle, apply some more tape, and reattach my label. How awesome is that, to save money that way? So I did all my labels that way. One thing I did want to say about the double-sided tape, I purchased 2 different kinds. One kind I'm going to pop up on the screen here. This is not the one that you want to purchase, y'all, because my labels that I use with that particular one, they're popping up now on the sides. So you definitely want to use this particular double-sided tape. It works wonders for the labels that I have used it on or with so far. So that's the one that you definitely want to purchase for this project. Once you get your spices in your spice jars. Your labels are on now. They're printed out from the computer. They're laminated, as you saw in that clip there. Then it's time to put them on your spice rack. So just upon measuring how much room I have on these spice jars, you can only use 5 spice jars per spice rack. So what I did was I filled up these 2 spice racks with 5 spice jars. And then I want to get to styling spice racks. So let me lower you guys just a little bit. All right. So when it comes to styling spice racks, I have a few tips. For this particular tip, you want to pull out your most eye-popping or eye-catching spices, right? So I used allspice, and this particular allspice is in these pretty beads in the jar with the label. I mean, it looks absolutely beautiful together like that in the jar. And then the next spice that I use, like I said, you want to use spices that are pretty in the jar, pretty to the eye, is rosemary. So this is in the bottle or in the jar as well. It looks really pretty right next to the allspice on the rack. And you want to use, what's catching to the eye for you. And for me, I wanted some neutral toned spices to be featured on this rack. So what better than the allspice and the rosemary? And then, of course, you can style it with different cookbooks. So I styled it with this breakfast one. I also have this soup cookbook. If you want to, if you're really into not having the same look every single month, you can switch out your cookbooks every month if you want to look at a new cookbook. And you can set yourself a reminder with being right here when you open the door, as in please read me or please review me. So if you have books but just forget to read them because they're out of sight, out of mind, this is definitely a great place to set a reminder. One thing when it comes to styling spice racks, this book comes with a dust jacket, but sometimes the actual book itself is just as pretty, if not prettier, than the dust jacket. So you can take the dust jacket off and just style it like that without the dust jacket on the book, which is very pretty like that. It looks similar to the writing on my spice jars. Okay, so like I like to tell you guys, we take cooking very seriously in this family. So we probably have some stuff that a lot of people would not have in their houses if they're not into cooking like that. So one thing, like I said, I don't want to give you just a potted plant with a book, right? Let's step it up a little bit and let's give you something that is not only cute but functional. So I have this pestle and mortar here to grind up your seasonings, which is what's up here. And then I also have your measurements, which is very helpful. So this can be pulled right out, used and popped right back in place there. And then of course I have a cookbook on the other side. So like I said again, we not only want to make this space cute, but we also want to make this space again functional. And last but not least, for styling spice racks, I have this letter board that says spice it up a notch, because again we're talking about the spice racks. And then I have 2 of the, like I said, spices. Make sure you pick this our beautiful combo together, or just beautiful from the eye. Again, I just love the way that this allspice and rosemary looked, but I mean you could switch it out for cinnamon, sugar, cloves, bay leaves, whatever looks good on the shelf together. And then of course I have the measuring guide in the back there for the spices. So I thought that was cute. Instead of using a cookbook, you could put just a cute little cooking phrase or a spice phrase like I did on the shelf. This of course is taken out of the book of Emerald Lagasse, where he says kick it up a notch. I just chose to put spice it up a notch there because again we're talking about the spice racks. If you found this video helpful and you were able to get ideas on how to style your spice rack, definitely let me know. Also vote on the look that you like the best, 1, 2, or 3, and let me know that as well. I have to say by far, I think look 2 is probably my favorite. but the other ones I love as well. I'm not gonna kick those to the curb. I am gonna finish doing the other 2 spice racks down at the bottom there, but I did want to show you what state that they come in for. It's all pretty and decked out with the color of your choice. And definitely check out my other pantry videos that I have. I have one on organizing your pantry, as well as I have one on even how we got this far with the pantry. So definitely check that out. I plan on doing a tour of this pantry as well if you're interested in seeing the contents on each shelf. So definitely check those videos out. Again, I will have my Christmas lineup out. If you are interested and you are a business owner, definitely email me and let me know that you are interested in my Christmas countdown list that I plan on doing this year. I did one last year. If you are interested in that, to see what all I featured last year, I will have a link to that down in the description bar below as well. And I will see you all in my next video.